Thank you for coming. एक्चुअली हो गया मेरे पास, मैं लेकर आता हूँ. Do some kirtan. I don't know, you're all doing your rounds in between. Is that okay? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Vihari Jaya Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jai Jai Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की श्री राधा गोपी वल्लभ की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, श्री निताई गौरंग भगवान की जय। Hare Krishna. So today you all have this paper, right? I mean, I had given this one paper. Some of you have it, yeah. So there is one more bhajan in this. Nice and sweet bhajan on the 1B side. If you don't have this, you can go to Google Guru, and say Vrindavana Ramyasthana. Can you all go to Vrindavana Ramyasthana? Just say Vrindavana Ramya Sthana. So today is second. Yeah. So today is birthday of Harshal Prabhu. And yes. Kadambini Mataji, Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. So for the birthday Prabhuji and birthday Mataji, we'll sing a special bhajan. Yeah, for the pleasure of Krishna. That's the best way to start birthday. Right? So enthusiastically everyone sings. It's a beautiful bhajan. Everybody can sing, even children can. How many have sung this in the past? Anybody? We have a good crowd who has sung. तो सभी को गाना है, ठीक है? अगर कोई नहीं गाएगा मैं वहां पे आके आपके बाजू में बैठ के गाऊंगा, नहीं कराना ना ऐसे? चलो, सिंपल है, बहुत सिंपल. Everybody has the bhajan. Does anybody not have the bhajan in front of you? तो जिनके पास है उनके बाजू में जाके बैठिए, सिंपल है ना? हाँ. Vrindavana Ramyasthana. Very simple, short bhajan actually. Only 3 paragraphs. Today Krishna is testing me. So I came here with this kartal like this. Thap nikal gaya. I don't know what to do. ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं. Are we ready? So what is this bhajan? Okay, I'll tell the meaning of this bhajan. Vrindavana Ramyasthana Divya Chintamani Dham. Jo Vrindavan hai, the Vrindavan that we know in Uttar Pradesh, that is a reflection of the original Vrindavan in the spiritual world. So the original Vrindavan in the spiritual world has palaces made of jewels. Have you ever seen a palace made of jewels? It's so rare to see jewel only, or to speak of palaces made of jewels. Chintamani Dhama. Chintamani Dhama means you go and ask and every desire will be fulfilled. Just go to the tree and ask, I want pizza. And the tree will give a pizza. Right? I want to go to America. You open your eyes, you're in America. Wherever you want, whatever, any desire. Any desire. I want to dance with Krishna. That's a good desire. Immediately Krishna will be beside you. Chalo, let's dance. So Chintamani Dham, meaning every desire is fulfilled. Vrindavana Ramyasthana Chintamani Dhama Ratna Mandira Manohara Abrata Kalindi Nire. Kalindi means Yamuna. Another name of Yamuna is Kalindi. Raja Hamsa Kelekare. There is a beautiful swan. Tahe Shobhe Kanaka Kamala. Kamala means lotus flower. Right? It's a beautiful lotus flower in between the Yamuna. Tara Madhya Hema Pita Ashta Dale Besitita. So there are many petals, thousands of petals. And in between there are prominent 8 petals of, right? On that 8 petals, there are 8 gopis sitting. Vishakha, Lalita, Rangadevi, Tungavidya. I have 8 cows in my Goshala, the same names. So 8 prominent gopis are sitting who supply anything Radhika wants, they supply. So whenever Krishna wants something, he'll look at Radharani. Radharani will immediately ask the Gopika to get it. Gopika will get it and give it to Radharani. And Radharani will give it to Krishna. And who gives it to the Gopikas? Manjaris. There are even more smaller gopis. 8-year-old gopis, 9-year-old gopis. They're called Manjaris. Okay? So they come and give to gopis. And gopis give it to Radharani. And Radharani gives it to Krishna. And they enjoy like this. So Tara Madhya Himapita Ashtadale Besitita. They are sitting in these 8 petals. Ashtadale Pradhana Naika. There is a Nayak of all those gopis. Who is her? Radharani. Right? She is the Naika of all the gopis. Tara Madhya Ratna Sane Bashi Ache Dui Jane. Shama Sange Sundari Radhika. So 2 people are sitting in between the lotus. Who are they? Shama Sange Sundari Radhika. Sham and Radhika. Right? Radhe Sham. They are sitting. O Rupa Labhanya Rasi, Amiya Pariche Kasi, Hasya Pariyasa Sambhashana. So what is the Supreme God doing in between sitting in the lotus? What is he doing? Am I audible to the back? That's why I got a bigger speaker today. Right? So what is the God doing sitting in back? Is he creating? Is he destroying? Is he maintaining? Those things Vishnu will do. Those things Shiva will do. Those things Brahma will do. God is not doing creation, maintenance, destruction. That is office work. Okay? What do you do when you go to your home? Relax in your couch. Okay? You get a chance, you relax in the couch. So here Radha and Krishna are relaxing in between the lotus. And what are they discussing? Are they discussing serious matters? So Radharani, what should we do with these people in Gachibowli? When will they come back to me? These fools are always working day and night, earning money, running properties, which will anyway not be theirs. What to do? Radharani is like, मैंने बहुत बार बोला सुनते नहीं बच्चे. Are they discussing all this? No. That is something Narayan does. Narayan, when he expands into Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, all these expansions, they'll take care of all the dialogue. Durga will speak to Lord Shiva, kya kare bachon ka? Right? That discussion, all that will happen. But in between the lotus, what is the discussion happening? What do you think God does when he sits with his beloved Radharani? What do you think he does? आप क्या करते हो? आपकी पत्नी के साथ जब बैठते हो आराम से, झगड़े के सिवा, हाँ? हास्य परिहास संभाषण, jokes. Krishna is joking with Radharani. Krishna is the greatest joker. He can crack the jokes that nobody else can crack. Radharani wanted a fruit, and Krishna said, "Okay, I'll pull the branch down." He pulled the branch down. She holded the branch. He left the branch. Damn, she fell down. Right. So he does all these cranky things. She's going with the pot. He'll break the pot. She's going with the pots to Mathura. He'll stop and say, "Pay tax. You have to pay tax to go from here." All these things he'll do. And she'll get angry and she'll go and sit on a place. And that place is called as Man Mandir because she's angry there. So Radharani sitting is called Man Mandir. There is a mandir for that also. Then both of them reconcile, they dance, and the dance mandir is called Peacock Mandir, More Mukut Mandir. There's so many temples, so many things where everything Krishna and Radharani does. Right? That is the beauty of spiritual world. All these tensions will not be there in the spiritual world. That is the reason we should want to go back to the place where there are no tensions. Why Kuntha? Kuntha means tensions, Why means no. How many here want to go back to Vaikuntha? जाना है नहीं जाना है यही बस करना है हाँ जाना है ना and how many want to go back to Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan and see this lotus? If you want, you will see. If you don't want, you can never see. Right? And here Narottam Das Thakur is saying in the last verse, Narottama Dasa Koe Nitya Lila Sukhamoe Sada is Pruhuk Moramane. He's saying, "Oh Krishna, this is the only thing I want. I want to always remember this lotus and you sitting with Radharani and joking in my heart. Moramane." Right? Narottama Dasa Koe. So he's writing his signature. Who has written this bhajan? The person called Narottam Das Thakur. Close to 550 years ago. He was there on this planet and he wrote this bhajan. Right? And why is he writing his name at the end? Why he has to write his name? Isn't it branding? I have written this bhajan. Isn't it ego? I have written this bhajan. Mera naam Bigao. No, these bhajans are love letters. They are not given outside. When Narottam Das Thakur was on the planet, nobody knew that he wrote these bhajans. Great acharyas write these bhajans in ecstasy. They sing for Krishna and they leave the body. They go. After they go, somebody opens their peti and they say, "Oh, what all they have written?" And they see these bhajans. These are ecstatic bhajans of pure love. They're not for entertainment. They're for understanding how the great devotees have interacted with the Supreme Lord, how they've experienced divinity. Right? And at the end of love letter, you should write your name, right? Otherwise, somebody else will take that. You've written a beautiful love letter, you give it to somebody, and that somebody thinks somebody else has written, you are at loss, right? So in the same way, here also, all the great bhajans written by Vaishnava Acharyas, they sign with their name in the below. Bhakti Vinod Ashraya. Bhakti Vinod Thakur writes Bhakti Vinod Ashraya at the end. Narottam Das Thakur, Narottama Dasa Koe. I am the one writing. Hey Krishna. So they're personal bhajans, right? So we're going to sing this bhajan. Please repeat after me. Don't sing with me. That's the way we do bhajans, okay? Vrindavana Ramya Sthana Divyachinta Mani रतना मंदिरा मनोहारा चिंतामणि रतना मंदिरा मनोहारा वृंदावनस्थान चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर राजा हंसा केली कार चाहे शोभ कनक कमाला राजा हंसा केली कार चाहे शोभ कनक स्थान दिव्या चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर पीता अष्टाधारे भृति पीता अष्टाधारे प्रधानाई रत्नाशारे बशियाचे जीवन श्यामा संग सुंदरी राधिका वृंदावनारण्यस्थान दिव्या चिंतामणि धाम रतना मंदिर परिहस सदै स्पृह Thank you for singing along. So how did you like the bhajan? Yeah? Nice? Soothing? So wish you happy birthday, Prabhu, and happy birthday, Mataji. So we'll pray that Lord Krishna will engage you in special services, right? And take you back home, back to Vrindavan. No more Tellapur, no more Gachivali. Om Ajnantimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadadi Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavan Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कंचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। प्लीज रिपीट आफ्टर मी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपः कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिने नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गौ ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिमित कृपः तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारिणं श्री परमानंद माधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यत्स्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष सभ्याभ्यन्तरं शुचे। श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। Yes. Yeah. Great. So today we had a little extended bhajan, but bhajan is needed because bhajan is a way to glorify God. And unless we glorify God, we cannot understand what God is speaking, what Krishna is speaking. We are not here for Jnana Yoga. We are here for Bhakti Yoga. We don't want to become Gyanis. There are four kinds of people: Karmis, Yogis, Jnanis, Bhaktas. Karmis are the people who perform karma and they want to enjoy that karma. And then they'll also do some ritualistic activities to make sure that there are no reactions of their karma coming back on them. Right? Karmis. So there are good karmis, there are bad karmis, right? All that is there. And then there is yogis. Yogis are the people who do yogic meditations. They focus on themselves, they focus on the soul within, they focus on the Paramatma within, and they attain siddhis. So karmis are behind enjoyment through their karma. Yogis are behind siddhis. They want to get siddhis, right? Float in the air, or impress somebody, or change something, some manipulations in the universe. That is yogis. That's what they're impressed, right? Third is jnanis. The jnanis are after knowledge. They get knowledge, and when they get that knowledge, they interpret that knowledge, they apply that knowledge, and they enjoy that knowledge. Actually, entertainment also has different levels, right? First level of entertainment, lowest level is playing some games or watching FIFA World Cup. That is a kind of entertainment. That's okay. That's one level of entertainment. There is a greater entertainment than that is when you actually watch some things which are emotionally touching you. You watch something and you start crying along with it, right? You start laughing along with it, something like that. Your emotions are affected. Even higher enjoyment than that is philosophical discussion. When you sit with somebody and you discuss philosophy, what you are feeling, what I am feeling, how I feel, how I would feel, why do I feel like that? This is philosophical discussion. Soul is satisfied when you talk to people. There are only two things that soul needs: to love somebody and to be loved by somebody. That's all. The whole world is behind only two things. What are the two things? To love somebody and to be loved by somebody. ये दो चीज ही चाहिए हमको. iPhone नहीं चाहिए. हमको, we don't need properties, nothing. The only thing we need is these two things: to love somebody, the ability to love somebody unconditionally, and to be loved by somebody unconditionally. When you get these two things, you are the most happiest person on the planet. If you don't have these two things, even those 10,000 square feet apartments are like graveyards where there is no happiness. No happiness. You understanding what I'm saying? Yeah. And what satsang gives, what the satsang gives, is it helps you to connect with Krishna, where you can love Krishna and feel the love of Krishna. And how you feel the love of Krishna is through his devotees. Through his devotees, you feel the love of Krishna. Right? You can't directly access God. You have to access through his devotees. And whatever Krishna wants to tell you, he speaks through those devotees. And whatever you need to tell Krishna, you can speak to the devotee, and through the devotee's heart, Krishna will hear. That is the reason the bhajans are very important. A lot of people, they think, why bhajan? Class shuru karo. I am not here for bhakti yoga, no jnana yoga. Ultimately, we should become happy after the satsang. This will give happiness. But when you understand this and apply this in your life and pray to God, then that will give you happiness. Right? Someday we'll discuss about the advent of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then I'll explain how knowledge cannot give you everything. Actually, it's bhakti only that gives you everything. Right? So last week, we went to a point where Arjuna started speaking. Right? So there were introductions. I think this is the fifth class. Is this the fifth class? Yeah. So there were introductions to all the warriors or some of the main warriors, and there were Duryodhana speaking to his guru, and finally they started blowing all the conch shells. Everything is done, and now the whole army is standing before each other. Arjuna is standing before all his cousin brothers, sons, his aunts and uncles. Not aunts, ladies are not there on the battlefield. But he is looking at both the sides. He's looking at Kurus. When he says Kurus, he's not just talking about Kauravas. He's also talking about Pandavas. So then, standing in that place where Arjuna is standing, he can only see Kauravas. And that's when Arjuna says, "Hey Krishna, take me in between the armies." Why? I want to see both the sides. Who has come to kill me and whom I have to kill, and who are there on my side who are also willing to kill, who are also willing to fight. I want to see both of them. Right? And he went and saw them. And Krishna also did tactfully bring him in front of two very important people. Pramukha. Who are those two people he brought him in front of? Bhishma and Drona. Because both of them are very dear to Arjuna. Arjuna will get most affected when he looks at both of them. Right? Like sometimes, we make decisions, or our decisions get affected when we look at the most important people in life. Right? And the important people are very important to be around us. If they are not around us, we will make decisions which we will regret in life. Unfortunately, today in this nuclear family setup, we don't have all the important people in our life in front of us or around us, like our parents, like our aunts, uncles. Sometimes even children are not with us. Sometimes even wife and husband are not together. Right? It's very important when we are making decisions in life, we are the most important people around us. Because they'll ensure that you don't make a decision that you'll regret in future. So many relationships problems. What is the biggest problem today? Not nuclear bombs, relationship problems. Right? And what is the first decision you make when you get into a relationship problem? You want to break the relationship. Right? Newly married wife told the husband, squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom. He said, "No, I will squeeze the toothpaste from the top." Divorce. Why the hell you are squeezing it from the top? You should squeeze it from the bottom. I don't care. Right? It can start anywhere. For toothpaste, they got divorced. It is possible. Right? Where did it start? It starts like this only. But if you have your child in front of you, will you make the decision at that time, looking into the child's eyes? No. If you have your parents in front of you, the parents who are banking on your support in their old age, a whole family is there needed to support. No? You can't get servant maids and they'll come and take care of your family. No. You need a daughter-in-law, you need a son-in-law, you need this whole family setup. It's created by Krishna. These are all relationships created by Krishna. You need them. And when you look at all of them, you don't make those decisions. They will look at you and say, "No, don't do that. We can still make things work." Krishna brought Arjuna in front of Drona and Bhishma, saying, "Now make sure your decision is sthira, perfect." Right? Now he is looking at both of them. Now he had already made a decision to kill everybody on the battlefield. But when he came in front of Bhishma and Drona, his decision is being tested. And why did Krishna do that? Krishna wanted the war to happen. Krishna wanted the war to happen. Why? Because it's needed. Dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Dharma has to be established. But there was a problem. The problem was Arjuna was coming to do the war for revenge. He was not coming there to sthapana of dharma. He was coming there with a revengeful feeling that I want to kill this Arjuna, this Karna, because he insulted my wife. I want to kill this Duryodhana because he took away my kingdom. I want to kill all these Kauravas because they even attempted to kill my mother in Lakshagraha. So revengeful feeling. You cannot establish dharma when you are in a revengeful attitude, because that is not the consciousness needed when you have to establish dharma. Establishing dharma is above your revenge, right? It's much higher than revenge. So, just like a parent, I love my child. That's not a good enough reason to take care of a child. Making sure the child is an asset to the society is even higher reason, not a liability to the society. You know what I'm saying? So you also make sure that sometimes you correct your child also. So there is one dharma, there are different levels of dharma. As we go forward, we'll understand that. So Krishna wanted to make sure that Arjuna has no revengeful feeling when he starts the war. No revengeful feeling. Yeah, there will be anger. Yeah, you did some things. But that is not the basis of him doing the war. The basis is to establish dharma, meaning to make sure the kingdom which insulted a woman, Draupadi, never does it again. They get the punishment that in the time immemorial, nobody does what happened to Draupadi ever. Did it happen ever after that? Never. Knowledgeable people, whatever happens, it will never happen. Never happen ever. That why it never happens? Because of Mahabharata. And Krishna made sure that happened. And Krishna made sure that Arjuna doesn't stop the war in between. See, Arjuna can tell, okay, मैंने दुर्योधन को मार दिया, Arjun को, Karna को मार दिया. Okay, Krishna, wrap up. My work is over. No, your work is over until the war is over. Only when the war is over, your work is over. When you are revengefully feeling, you might be satisfied somewhere in between. You might stop according to your own decisions. You might even pardon, saying that, hey, I don't want to do the war. Whatever he did, but I don't want to do the war. Krishna is trying to remove all those layers off so that we get connected with dharma. And that's exactly how we have to apply Bhagavad Gita in our life also. In our life also, many times situations will come where you don't know whether or not to perform a certain activity. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Are you looking at only your happiness in it? Or you are looking at a happiness or higher cause in it? When you look at a higher cause in it, then you make the right decision. If you're only looking at your happiness, then you will do something which is not good in longer run. For you also, for others also. Because people are not learning Bhagavad Gita, people are making decisions in life which are horribly affecting the planet, including global warming, including so many things, polluting the planet, so many things that are happening because they're not seeing the higher dharma. They are seeing lower dharma, their own happiness. Are you all following me so far?
Yes.
Yeah. So now here in text number 28, we read the text number 28 last week and we discussed about it. So I'll just repeat the translation. Repeat the translation after me. So anybody who doesn't have this book can go to vedabase.com. 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 And there you can go to Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1. Right? You can click there and you can come to shloka number 28. Yeah. Please repeat after me. Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, seeing my friends and relatives present before me in such a fighting spirit, I feel the limbs of my body quivering and my mouth drying up. Right? So he's getting affected. So we discussed last week. He is getting kripa. Kripa and Daya. Daya means Daya to the whole world. Kripa means only to the people you know. So Arjuna is feeling that Kripalu feeling, in front of the Kurus. He's like, should I do the war? I should not do the war. I don't feel that I should kill my relatives. Prabhuji and Mataji, is very difficult to imagine the situation in which Arjuna was. Very difficult. We are sitting nicely, in front of a garden, school breeze, and we are discussing Bhagavad Gita. But that was not the situation, when Arjuna heard Bhagavad Gita. It is like, just imagine there are 10 people standing here with swords. Right when I say Haribol, they'll come and kill you. And then we are discussing questions and answers. Can you imagine the gravity of the situation? It is not an ordinary situation. You can be finished and you have to kill them. It's not like, okay, I'll sit now. No, you have to immediately after this go and start killing people. And whom are you killing? Not unknown people, known people. It's very easy to kill unknown people, right? My cousin brother, he lives in Bachpalli, in that area. So once I went to his house and I stayed overnight. So he has a hen. The hen is there. So his daughter brought small chicks, small colored chicks. Sometimes they sell outside. She bought colored chick, and apparently, the chick started growing, and it became a hen. Proper hen it became, a big. So the hen, every morning he goes and sits in the couch, with his newspaper. The hen will come and sit beside him. It's been like more than 5 months. The hen is with him. So I was amazed to see, somebody having a hen in the house, right? You see a dog in the house or something, hen, and it's coming and sitting there. So I said, wow, so you are so happy to have this hen. I said, yeah, I really like this hen. Every morning it gives me company. And immediately he told his wife, so what are you making today? Chicken curry or mutton? What are you making? So I looked at my bhabhi and like, wait a second. You said you love this hen, and then you're asking your wife to make chicken curry. So are you going to kill this hen and make the chicken curry? Or so no, what do you mean kill? My hen. Somebody else's hen I'll kill. Right? So that's what happened. That's the main difference. You can't see, you can't relate. You can't relate to others' pain because you're blind, you're in ignorance. You can't. Why you can't? Because your senses are more powerful than your intelligence. Simple. Your tongue, you become a das of your tongue. If the tongue is not satisfied, it will tell your mind, oh hell with it, satisfy me. Right? So you are a slave of your senses, not your intelligence. Your intelligence says, what you're doing is wrong, not needed. The tongue says, go hell with not needed. I need this. Right? So when you become a slave of your senses, you become a burden on the planet. That's what happens to most of the people. They become slave of their senses. Kesha, the one who controls all the senses. So when you become a devotee of Krishna, you can control your senses. What are the senses you can control? Your eyes, your tongue, your skin, your ears, your smell, everything you can control. Everything has a way to control. Right? How do you control your eyes? Eyes want to see beautiful things, isn't it? Eyes want to see beautiful things. How do you control eyes? By seeing beautiful deities of the Supreme Lord. By going to Vrindavan, Tirupati, Rameshwaram, see the beautiful deities. Right? See beautiful paintings. In this Bhagavad Gita, there are some paintings you can see those paintings, beautiful paintings. Right? You can control your eyes. Right? How do you control your nose? Smell. By smelling the flowers offered to God. When they're offered in a temple, they give that flower. They give flowers in the temple, right? When you go to the altar, they give yellow. Kya karte ho? You smell it. So you feel satisfied. Yes, beautiful smell. Right? How do you satisfy your tongue? Eat prasadam. Nice prasadam. It's on its way. Is it Srinivas Prabhu? Where is it? Yes, come already. See? Can you open the lid so everybody will feel the... No, just kidding. The point is, that is how you control your tongue. You cannot control your senses without giving an alternative. Neha Vikramana Shostri Pratyavayano Vidyate Swalpam Upyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahatobhaya. No. What is that shloka? Come on. This is what happens when not properly studying Bhagavad Gita. Nainam Chinna Shastrani. Oh, what is that shloka? Huh? What is it? How does it start with? No, that's not the one. The different sloka I'm looking for. Krishna is very practical. God is not impractical. Sorry, until I find that, I'm not going to speak. This mind keeps revolving whenever I'm telling the class. What is that sloka? What is that sloka? I just tell 1 minute. Yes. How do you control your senses? Krishna speaks in 2nd chapter. No. That is Rishikesh and Rishikesh Sevanam is there, but there is also. Come on, where did I forget that? How did I forget that important one? Asking for higher taste. What is the line for that? Higher taste. Hare Krishna, can't believe. 1 minute. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. 59. What is the meaning of this? 2.59. What is the meaning of this? Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Krishna is saying, even after you leave, even after you try to stop eating some things, tasting some things, the taste for that never goes. The taste for it never goes. The taste remains. You stop doing something bad, like people who smoke. The nicotine taste is still there in their tongue. They keep harping for it. I want it. Right? It's like you go and switch off the fan in your room. Does the fan stop? Tuck? Does it stop like that? No, it still revolves for some time. Even after you switch it off, the fan still revolves for some time. And Krishna says, Rasovarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Until you give a higher alternative than that, your senses will not stop harping for it. Is that true? Right? So if somebody says, Prabhu, I can't stop doing this. I have to give something better than that. Only then you will come towards something. Only then you will leave something lower. The small child, you are holding a small child, and the small child is holding a blade. A small infant child, like a 7-month, 8-month child. What do they do? Everything they keep in their mouth. Right? And she's holding a blade. How do you remove the blade? If you go and try to pull it, you might cut her. Right? You can't just wait for some time. She'll put in the mouth also. How do you remove that blade? Anybody? Give her a keys. Like, hey, keys. She'll leave that, she'll take the keys. So are all of us also. Until you want to get something higher, you cannot leave something that is lower. You cannot. Right? Just controlling the senses. So that's controlling the tongue. Controlling the touch. You want to touch. People want to touch. Feel. Hug the devotees. Right? Spend time with the devotees. That is how you control your urge for touching. If there is one devotee, he likes to hug me. Whenever he comes to such a Prabhuji, ow. Once in a week, jor se. Like Venkateshwara Prabhu is like. Anyway, so what other sense did we not talk about? Sense of hearing. Right? You want to hear. Everybody wants to hear. Did you hear Vrindavana Ramesh Sara today? Was it nice? Yes, hear nice bhajans. Nice soothing bhajans. And that will satisfy your soul. And you're praying also in that. Right? Otherwise, if you sing useless songs, what will you get out of it? There is no connection. There's no connection. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. There's a beautiful prayer in this. And you can do this for a whole day also. No problem. But can you create something like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Pepsi? You can do that? कर सकते हो? नहीं कर सकते हो. थोड़ा क्या बात कर रहा हूँ? है कि नहीं? So there are prayers, meaningful prayers. So anyway, so coming back to the shloka. So Arjuna is brought in the front and we discussed already this verse. So let's go to verse number 29. Right? Verse number 29. Vipatuscha sharire Romaharshascha jayate Gandivam shramasate hastat Tvakchaiva Paridhyate. Yes. Translation. Repeat after me. My whole body is trembling. My hair is standing on end. My bow Gandiva is slipping from my hand. And my skin is burning. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Please hear the translation as I read it. There are two kinds of trembling of body, the two kinds of standing of the hair on end. Such phenomenon occurs either in great spiritual ecstasy or out of great fear under material conditions. There is no fear in transcendental realization. Arjuna's symptoms in this situation are out of material fear, namely loss of life. This is evident from other symptoms also. He became so impatient that his famous bow, Gandiva, was slipping from his hands, and because his heart was burning within him, he was feeling a burning sensation of skin. All these are due to material conception of life. Right? So Arjuna is feeling that if I do this war, I'm going to kill people and I will not see them again. Why should I kill people? No, he's thinking all those things, material conception of life. Now Krishna is going to answer all these questions one by one, as the second chapter starts. That Arjuna, you're actually not going to kill anyone. By the way, I'm sorry, you cannot actually kill anybody. You can only kill their body. You can only destroy their body, but not the soul. Right? So he gets into all that answering. But right now, that is spiritual consciousness. Arjuna is in material consciousness. He's looking at body and he's worried. He's very, very worried. Why spiritual people generally are not very worried? Why material people are very worried? Because spiritual people focus on the permanent things. Material people focus on the temporary things. Right? What are the permanent things? Our soul. Our soul is always permanent. The same soul is. If you focus on your soul, you will not be bothered by the body. You will get old. Anyone will not get old. तो है यहाँ पे जो बूढ़ा नहीं होने वाला. Everybody will become old. Just a matter of time. No matter what hair dye you use, Godrej, Palmolive, whatever you use, you will become old. Just a matter of time. Right? So spiritual people in spiritual consciousness are not bothered when they become old. Because they know that it is my body which is becoming old. It is not me. I'm just going to change this body. When the clothes are old, what do? You leave them. Leave them out. You take new clothes. Right? In the same way, Krishna explains that the soul leaves the old clothes and takes the new clothes. And the clothes is nothing but the body. Right? The transition. He explains that in second chapter. So here, the whole symptoms that we are talking about, standing of the hair, mouth getting dried up, and Gandiva being kept down. I discussed about Gandiva's importance. Right? Gandiva, he would never keep it down. In a war situation, he would never keep it down. And if someone says, keep your Gandiva down, he'll kill that fellow. Right? Did you all hear that story? Okay. So you all know that. So Arjuna cannot tolerate if somebody says, hey Arjun, tu bekar hai, tera Gandiv bekar hai, niche rakh Gandiv ko, khatam. If you say that dialogue, immediately he has to kill you. He has taken the door. And who told that thing once? Yudhishthira. His own brother told him. Why are you not doing the war properly? Go kill that Karna. What is the use of you holding that Gandiv? Keep that down, he told. Huh? Tu mere ko bolta hai immediately. Removed the arrow and pointed at Yudhishthira. Just imagine if you would have killed Yudhishthira, war is over. Duryodhana would have been, Hare, yaar, bacha ho gaya. I didn't even do anything, got killed. Then Krishna comes in between and like, Hare Baapre, kya kar raha hai? You have to hit that side, not this side, So then he had to reconcile, he had to explain that, okay, don't do. I know you have taken a vow that you'll kill anybody who tells about Gandhi, but don't do that now. There are other alternatives. You can kill a person with a sword, you can also kill with your tongue. Abuse your brother in such a way that it's as good as his death. Then he says, okay, that's a good option. Instead of killing him, I'll shout at him. Right? How many have killed? How many people so far like that here? करते हो ना? ऐसा बात बोलते हो कि that fellow will go and commit suicide only. My boss used to be that, my old boss. That fellow, if he takes appraisal, even the person either will kill him or he'll come outside and die. It's like horrible, he abuses like anything. All the sarcasm, all the whatever you say, demotivation, worthlessness, he'll make you feel you're not worthy of anything. Then he'll say, okay, now what do you want this year? I don't want anything. You get lost. So anyway, let's go to the next verse, 30th verse. So this verse is also about compassion. So first reason is compassion. Nacha shaknomi avasthatum Brahmati vacha me mana Nimittani cha pasyami Viparitani Keshava. Yes. Translation. Repeat after me. I am now unable to stand here any longer. I am forgetting myself. And my mind is reeling. I see only causes of misfortune. O Krishna, killer of the Kesi demon. So here he's saying that, I'm not able to stand here anymore. Of course, it's trembling. When you're trembling, you're shivering, you can't stand. You have to sit. I'm forgetting myself and your mind is reeling. I see only cause of misfortune. What do you mean misfortune? How it is going to be misfortune? What is fortune? What is fortune? Anybody? What do you think when I say your fortune? Luck, blessed. What else? Wealth, right? Fortune 500. So that, right? Fortune 500 company. Huh? So how many here want to be the richest person on the planet? Yes, be frank. It's okay. Yeah, why not? But what if you are the only person on the planet? You are the richest person on the planet, but you are the only person on the planet. Kya karoge? Huh? Does it make you feel rich? No, right? Because you need people to show off. That's when you find happiness. है कि नहीं? 3 bedroom के balcony में ठहर के 2 bedroom वाले को देखना ऐसे. 2 bedroom वाला सोचेगा मैं भी जाके खरीदूंगा 3 bedroom. है कि नहीं? Then villa fellow will see from that side. Sorry, wife will tell, villa खरीदो ना, क्या कर रहे हो 3 bedroom में? है कि नहीं? This is how people feel fortunate. Right? They don't have any self happiness within. They are not santushta. They're all the time comparing and finding fortune. Arjuna also is saying here, what is he saying? I only see cause of misfortune. Because after the war is over, is he going to become fortunate? Yes. He is going to have the whole world. Whole world. Entire planet Earth will be Arjun's. Pandavas will be ruling the entire planet Earth. But with whom will he enjoy? Who will be there to see their enjoyment? Nobody is there. One second. I take this. Sorry. My friend's marriage is happening. So immediately after that, I need to rush there. Yeah. So my friend's daughter's marriage, sorry. Yeah. So Arjuna is feeling that after this whole war, who is going to be left? Kaun rahega yahan pe baki? My brothers are dead. My brothers will be killed. That side brothers will be killed. My uncles will be killed. My aunts will be killed. My friends will be killed. After that, whom will I enjoy this world with? It's a valid reason, right? I am only seeing signs of misfortune. That's exactly what Arjuna is saying. Right? He's compassionate. That I'm going to lose everybody. At the same time, he's feeling, if I lose everybody, whom am I going to enjoy? What am I doing this war for? What am I doing this war for? See, one of my friends, he's having a bad relationship with his wife. Whatever. Husband, wife, to chalta rehta hai. right? And at one point his career is growing like anything. He's a very intelligent fellow, very intelligent, sharp, very analytical. Anything he'll crack. And customers like him, his company likes him. They're promoting vice president, president, whatever posts are. At one point, he's saying, I'm not enjoying my life. He said, Lakshman, I'm not enjoying my life. I don't feel like going to my home because my wife doesn't love me. My children, they don't feel the love between both of us. So they are like orphans. I'm not enjoying my life. And then he said, I'm going to resign. I don't need. Why should I work like a dog and earn this money when I'm not finding my means of happiness? Right? I'm doing all this for what? For love. What does the soul need? Two things, right? I told what are the two things? To love somebody and to be loved by somebody. If I'm not finding those two, kahe kahe pura zindagi hai? Right? So see how much we are not focusing on the things that we should focus, and how much we are being misguided by the so-called media and publicity, right? That you find happiness here, you find happiness there. Use this toothpaste and you will feel pura 15 dan dikhayenge. You'll feel, oh, the toothpaste. We are in such a third-class situation. We actually think that by using the toothpaste, we'll start smiling. Right? That is how media has manipulated us. But actual happiness is where? Relationships. I can tell you, in my personal life, today afternoon, I'm going to a farmhouse which is opened by one of my satsang members, somewhere near Shadnagar. So he got one calf and from my farm I gave one cow and a bull. So he has taken there, and we are having a satsang from 12 o'clock, 12:30 onwards. And after the satsang, I need to go to my friend's daughter's marriage, where we have to dance, and then go to this other place in Shadnagar where we're going to spend time. Whole afternoon, we're going to discuss 13th chapter, finishing the 13th chapter today of Bhagavad Gita. And we're going to have such a nice conversation, and we'll dance, we'll do kirtans, this is relationships. And you don't need a penny for that. You don't need to pay anything for that. You're just part of such a nice group that your life is so blissful. When you're in trouble, they are there for you. When you're happy, they are there to be happy along with you. It's very difficult to find people who are happy along with you. It's very easy to find people who are envious when you're happy, isn't it? So that's the word. So satsang gives that. Satsang. Sat means eternal, sang means association. The association which only looks at the eternal aspect, not the temporary aspect. What job you are doing, which flat you are living, is immaterial to people in the satsang. And our Bharatvarsh was always happy because there was always a satsang in every house. There was satsang in every house. I'm telling this extra information other than Bhagavad Gita because we need to know that. We need to know that what actually gives that happiness. The discussing Bhagavad Gita every Sunday morning, Bhagavatam every Sunday evening, bringing children to that, dancing along with, recently we had a Kirtan night. I kept it live on my channel. I don't know how many of you got an opportunity. Go and see that, see Kirtan night. So my friend's daughter, she is getting married to a Punjabi. And he got his friends from Canada, Australia, North India. All of them came, Kirtaniers, right? So they sat down and they started doing harmonium and the Kirtans. There were people peeping outside the window in my own avatar that can we come inside? No disco is any good in front of that. No pub is any good in front of that. You don't need any drinks, nothing. People sweated and danced. And the way they did Kirtans, Hare Krishna tune, you will go bonkers, like unbelievable. And me and my wife are planning to go to Kirtan Mela in February to Mayapur. And what do we do there? Morning se leke raat tak, we have a Kirtan Mandal. Every half an hour, the Kirtan group changes. So we sit around them. And there are like 15 mridangas, 15 kartals, 15 flute makers, and there is a Kirtaner. And he starts saying, Hare Krishna, he starts singing, and deities are in the front, and they dim the lights. And we sit in circles, like 20 layers of circles, and the Kirtan starts. I'm telling you, that's a different world. And it doesn't cost a penny for you to be there. Of course, you need to go there. That's all. Prashadam is given. Eat. So what do you need to do in bhakti? Eat, dance. Eat, dance. That's all you need to do. That is Krishna conscious life. Right? Why am I telling all this is we need to understand where the happiness is. We are searching for some other place. Somebody lost his key. So he's searching there. Somebody goes and says, can I also help you? Yeah, please help me. He's searching. After some time, they don't find it. They say, we are not finding the key. Where is your key? No, I throw the key there. No, why are you searching here? You made me search. No, the light is here. No, there is dark. यहाँ पे light है तो I'll search here. That's foolishness. You're trying to find happiness in a place that happiness doesn't exist. Happiness cannot exist. Right? If you think this body is going to give us happiness, will this body will give us happiness? No. This is, what is our soul? Sat Chit Ananda. Sat Chit Ananda. Sat means eternal. Chit means blissful. Anand, no, Chit means completely aware, completely knowledge. Full knowledge it has. And Ananda means always happy. Sat Chit Ananda. And what is this body? Asat, Achit, Nirananda. This is temporary. This is completely ignorant, doesn't have any knowledge, and Nirananda will only give you misery. Will only give you misery. We keep forgetting what this body is. We are just, Maya. Maya means what? Maya means that which is not. Just look at your skin. Our skin every day, right? Just look at the skin. 0.1 millimeter skin, if you remove from this, you will know what your body is. 0.1 millimeter. Just remove that layer and see what you see inside. Mucus, pus, blood, bone marrow, like horrible, dirty thing, filthy thing we are carrying with us. Nothing good. Filled with diseases. Filled with diseases. Just a matter of time, they'll start coming out. This pain, this infection, that infection. If you focus on this for enjoyment, saying, my body is beautiful, I want to enjoy this body, you're always going to be in anxiety. You'll always be in anxiety. Are you all following me? Why old age people are happy in spiritual life? Because they never think that they become old. Because they know that they are the soul, not the body. Why young people are not happy today? Because they think they are the body. Right? Just the consciousness, what you're relating to. If you're relating to eternal things, you're always happy. If you're discussing eternal topics, you're always happy. You're discussing temporary topics, you're always in anxiety. So here, purport. So translation, now I'm not able to stand any longer. I'm forgetting myself. I'm only seeing causes of misfortune. Because who will I enjoy with? Who will I enjoy this kingdom with after I win? Purport, please. Let me read the purport. Please focus. Due to his impatience, Arjuna was unable to stay on the battlefield and he was forgetting himself on account of weakness of his mind. Excessive attachment to material things put a man in such a bewildering condition of existence. Dvayam Dvitaya Bhiniveshata Syat. Bhagavatam 11:37. Such fearfulness and loss of mental equilibrium take place in persons who are too affected by material conditions. Arjuna envisioned only painful reverses in the battlefield. He would not be happy even by gaining victory over the foe. The words nimittani, viparitani are significant. When a man sees only frustration in his expectations, he thinks, why am I here? Everyone is interested in himself and his own welfare. No one is interested in the Supreme Self. Arjuna is showing ignorance of his real self-interest by Krishna's will. One's real self-interest lies in Vishnu or Krishna. The conditioned soul forgets this and therefore suffers material pains. Arjuna thought that his victory in the battle would only be a cause of lamentation for him. Right? We are only seeing what is beneficial for me in that. And if you're not seeing that, you'll feel unhappy. But if you see God's plan is something higher. Right? If you understand God's plan, you'll never be unhappy in life. Never be unhappy in life. Why this bad thing is happening to me? Oh, I planned like this, it is not happening as per my plan. And you become so miserable. But if you just believe that God is planning for me, Krishna is planning for me, you'll feel always happy. Like one king, he went with He went with his minister into a jungle. He just went into the jungle, to do some hunting work. So in the jungle, some dacoits caught the king, and dacoits caught the king. And wait a second. No. Let me go back. The story starts in a different way. So the king had a minister who would always tell the king, whatever happens for the good. Sab achhe ke liye hota hai, don't worry. The king is like, okay, acha hota, that's fine. So one day the king was, trying to get into the chariot or something like that he was doing, and suddenly his finger got stuck in between something, and finger got cut. The entire finger went off. So he had only 4 fingers. And he was in tremendous pain. And the minister came and told, whatever happens for the good. So what nonsense, put this fellow in jail. I'm in so much pain, he's telling it's for my good. And then after that, then king went, that minister was in jail. So he had another minister. So both of them went together, on a small hunting exercise. And there the dacoits caught the king. And the dacoits were worshippers of Mother Kali. And they have this misconception that you have to give bali for Kali and Kali will be happy. So they took the king there. Okay, what can be a better bali than king? Right? King of the place is the best bali. So he took the king to the Kali Mata and tied him and said, okay, now let us kill this, remove his head. And just when they going to remove, they saw he had only 4 fingers in one hand. Then he said, this is not Paripurna Bali. It's not a complete Bali. He's not complete man. King is not worth it. So they removed, the king from there. The king got left. Instead, they killed that minister. Another minister was there with him. They said, okay, minister is better than a king. Not, still better. So they killed him. So the king came back and he told that minister, hey, pull that fellow out from the jail, He told the right thing. Whatever happens so good only. Because had I had that full hand, I would have been gone by now. Then he asked that minister, okay, what happened to me, I understood. But you being in jail, how is it good for you? He said, I would have been died by now if I had been with you. Other minister died. You put me in jail, so it's a good thing, na? Otherwise, today in the war, mera ho jata. So what God is planning, we don't know. Problem is we don't know. Biggest problem is we keep planning too much. See, you can make God laugh easily. Just tell your plans to him. Krishna will laugh. Krishna, there ko promotion aayega, then I'll buy that villa. Then after that, I'll get married. Then I'll have a happy married life. And Krishna, kar beta, kar. Because he has already a plan for you. Krishna is planning something different. Our life is like a dot in a line, right? If you draw a line, take a pen, make a line on the notebook, and then take a, what is that mirror? You keep seeing closer and closer. Magnifying mirror. You take a magnifying mirror, very, very high magnifying mirror, and focus on that line. You will not see anymore a line. You'll see dots. Because ultimately it's dots. Dots together made that line, right? The more and more closer you go, you'll only see dots there. This life, or your current life, whatever your Purana, Varma, whatever you are, is that one dot. In this dot, you are taking birth, you are going to college, you are getting married, having children, and then you are becoming old and you are dying. Within that dot, you can't see the line. Krishna is making a line. And his line is what? From Gachibowli to Golok. He's making that line. Hyderabad to Golok, whatever, wherever you are from. And he has a clear plan that this fellow has ego, this fellow has pride, this fellow has envy, this fellow has too much anger. These all things will not work in Goloka. So I am going to clear all these anarthas from him. In this life, I'll clear anger. In next 2 lives, I'll clear the pride. In next 2 lives, I'll clear the envy. And after whatever 2000 lives, he is ready to come back to me. So he created a whole plan. Right? People in Goloka are very humble. Humility. Humility is one of the most important quality of person in the spiritual world. So you have to become humble. So how will you become humble? Everybody? How will you know that you're humble or not? You should have somebody who will humiliate you every day. Again, somebody comes to your home, every day he humiliates you. Then you'll know. Then if you're not getting affected, then, okay, Krishna, I'm humble now. So next life he'll send somebody who will humiliate you. It can be your wife, it can be your husband, it can be your, I don't know, your neighbor who humiliates you, everybody in WhatsApp group, Telegram group. Again. So don't get angry. They're all yantras to clear your consciousness. That's true. So he has a plan. Krishna has a plan. How to make this fellow completely pure before he enters into Golok. And we should accept that plan. Okay, Krishna, I am ready to accept that plan. Right? Then you will be peaceful and happy. Again, there are only two people who are happy in this world. Only two people. One is a mad fellow on the road. Have you seen a mad fellow on the road? Oh, he'll be like going around with matted hair, with half clothes or no clothes. He's absolutely happy. Nothing will affect him. Go and tell him that the recession is coming, all jobs are. He'll laugh like that. He's always happy. एकदम मस्त है. कपड़ा है नहीं है कुछ भी नहीं है. He's happy. Somebody will give him food also. He'll eat or not eat. He's happy. He's a mad fellow, completely mad. Another fellow is happy is a devotee. A Krishna conscious devotee. He's always happy. कुछ भी आने को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Krishna's plan. जो होगा देखा जाएगा. Krishna is planning for me. Why should I worry? If somebody is planning for you, won't you be peaceful? Right? Just give up. Okay, Krishna, take care of me. So that's the best consciousness to be. So here in the purport, where were we? Yeah. Did I read the whole purport already? Yes. The conditioned soul forgets. So basically, identifying with the body will only make you miserable. Yeah. Let's go to now these three verses 28, 29, and 30 are the first reason of Arjuna. What is the first reason of Arjuna? Compassion. Right? He is very compassionate. He can't take any more. He can't see others suffer. So that is the main reason. Now the next four verses, 31st to 35th, you can write it down, are enjoyment. Enjoyment. That he cannot enjoy. So I don't want to do the work. I don't want to do the work because I can't enjoy. Right? Please repeat after me. 31. Nacha shreyo anupashyami hatva swajanam ahave nakankshe vijityam Krishna vijayam Krishna. Nakankshe vijayam Krishna nacha rajyam sukhani cha nacha rajyam sukhani cha. Translation, repeat after me. I do not see how any good can come from killing my own kinsmen in this battle. Nor can I, my dear Krishna, desire any subsequent victory, kingdom, or happiness. So basically, if your expectation was, okay, I'm going to do this war, I'll feel happy after that. I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. That's not, life is not about always, life is not like this happy ending in a movie, right? पूरा होने के बाद at the end happy ending हो जाएगा. नहीं होगा ऐसे. So Arjuna is saying, maybe, see, because he was revengeful, after I achieve my revengeful feeling, I'll feel happy. But he is realizing now that I'm not going to be happy because after my revenge, who is left to be happy with? Everybody will be killed, right? Please focus on the purport. It's a very important purport. Without knowing that one's self-interest is in Vishnu or Krishna, conditioned souls are attracted by bodily relationships, hoping to be happy in such situations. In such a blind conception of life, they forget even the causes of material happiness. Arjuna appears to have even forgotten the moral code for a Kshatriya. It is said that two kinds of men, namely the Kshatriya who dies directly in front of the battlefield under Krishna's personal orders, and the person in the renounced order of life who absolutely devoted to spiritual culture, are eligible to enter into the sun globe. Sun globe means it's a heavenly planet, which is so powerful and dazzling. Arjuna is reluctant to even kill his enemies, let alone his relatives. He thinks that by killing his kinsmen, there would be no happiness in his life, and therefore he is not willing to fight, just as a person who does not feel hunger, is not inclined to cook. He has now decided to go into a forest and live a secluded life in frustration. But as a Kshatriya, he requires a kingdom for his sustenance, because the Kshatriyas cannot engage themselves in any other occupation. But Arjuna has no kingdom. Arjuna's sole opportunity for gaining a kingdom lies in fighting with his cousins and brothers and reclaiming the kingdom inherited from his father, which he does not like to do. Therefore, he considers himself fit to go to the forest to live a secluded life of frustration. So here in this verse, Arjuna is saying that I don't see happiness coming anyway in the future. I don't see happiness. He's just repeating the same thing. But he's also saying, what is he going to do if he doesn't want to fight then? What is he going to do? See, there are 4 varnas, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Shudra, Vaishya. Right? Kshatriyas are normally very chivalrous and they have great arm strength and they manage, they administer. These are the qualities of a Kshatriya. Brahmana is somebody who is very humble, very submissive, very prayerful, and very charitable, right? And these are the qualities of a Brahmana. They always serve. And Vaishyas are the people who supply everybody equally. And they do agriculture, they do cow protection, and they make sure that whatever God is giving is reaching to everybody. Right? Business network, whatever you call. Shudras are the people who follow what the Brahmanas, Vaishyas, and Kshatriyas tell them. That's also very important. Right? Somebody has to follow. So all together form the body of the Varnashram, Varnas, all these 4 qualities. Now Arjuna is what? Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Yes or no? Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Now a Kshatriya is a Kshatriya in all conditions. A Kshatriya cannot act like a Brahmana. A Kshatriya cannot act, even if he acts, that is a temporary act. Right? You have a fight with somebody and say, "Ab main kuch nahi bolunga." Has ever happened? Kabhi hua aise? You will anyway talk after some time because your natural instinct is to talk. The person who can remain silent naturally doesn't need to even tell that I will not talk to you. They'll simply become silent. But the person who is very talkative, if he says that, no, I'm not going to talk now, that's like you're fooling yourself. Right? The nature doesn't change. So Arjuna being a Kshatriya, just imagine, he's a Kshatriya. When something wrong happens, he cannot stop. Immediately he'll remove his bow and arrow, he'll kill or he'll get into that action. That kind of person. He says, okay, Krishna, I'm not going to do the war now. Okay, Krishna, what will you become now? I'll become a beggar. I'll go and beg and live a life in the forest. Whatever people will give, I'll eat and live. I want peace. I want peace, like that. Just imagine Arjuna becomes a beggar. He takes a begging bowl and goes on the streets, starts begging. And suddenly one hafta vasool person comes, with तुम्हारे begging में से 10% मेरे को चाहिए. Immediately he'll remove the dhanush and patak, he'll kill him. And Krishna is like, why do you want to go and kill those people? Instead, kill here. Your nature is you're a Kshatriya, Arjuna. You cannot say that you will not do the war. You will do the war. If not here, somewhere else you'll go and do the war. You following what I'm saying? Nature doesn't change. A Kshatriya needs land. Kshatriya needs to manage people. Kshatriya needs to administer. It is not possible for a Kshatriya to not do Kshatriya work. Wherever he is, he'll do that only. A Vaishya is a sales fellow. Wherever he is. Vaishya means selling business. Like one Marwadi, sorry, if there is any Marwadi here, very good Vaishyas. Generally, Marwadi families are like very good in that dealings. Not everybody, but nature. One Marwadi is dying, like he's dying and everybody is standing around him. So old Marwadi, मेरी बेटी है, मेरा बेटा है, मेरा पोता है, मेरा uncle है, अब सभी आए तो शॉप पे कौन है? If everybody is here, who is standing in the shop? That fellow is thinking about shop, even when he's dying on the deathbed. Right? So the thinking process doesn't change. The calculative mentality doesn't change. We have some devotees also in our satsang. They have that. In satsang also we have mix. One Brahmana devotee will be there, one Kshatriya devotee will be there, one minded, right? So one Vaishya devotee is also there. I'll not name him, but he's a very dear friend to me. So if I go and talk to him, Prabhuji, ये सत्संग कर रहे हैं, प्रसाद ऑर्डर करना है, प्रभु जी मूंग दाल का कॉस्ट 210 रुपीज है, ठीक है, तुम ये ऑर्डर करोगे वो ऑर्डर करोगे, प्रभु जी ये कॉस्टली पड़ता, तुम बोलो कितना स्पॉन्सरशिप आया, ये स्पॉन्सरशिप के हिसाब से तुम ऑर्डर करना, ये नहीं करना वो नहीं करना. If I sit with him, I cannot do one satsang. He's calculative like that. For everything he calculates. Taka calculation. If I sit with him, प्रभु जी थोड़ा ऑर्डर करेंगे. One day I told प्रभु जी आज मस्त खाएंगे, आज अच्छा ऑर्डर करेंगे, खाएंगे, भगवान को भोग लेंगे. That's wrong consciousness actually. ऐसा कुछ, we'll have a nice feast. प्रभु जी अभी सीजन नहीं था, अब इसका कॉस्ट ये है, उसका कॉस्ट है, भाड़ में क्या कॉस्ट, प्रभु जी लेट अस नो, नहीं प्रभु जी आप समझ रहे नहीं, अरे बाप रे. So whenever there is prasadam discussion, make sure this person is not there. You know what I'm saying? So Vaishya mentality, completely Vaishya mentality. Then another Brahman devotee is there. Prabhuji, what do you want to eat? Prabhu, whatever is there, I'll eat. Whether it's hot or cold or spicy or anything. Go and ask it, Prabhuji, prasad kaisa hai? Bahut acha hai. He's eating white rice only. He is fine with that. He is completely renounced. Right? He is done. Mera kuch bhi do, I'm happy with that. Right? Then Kshatriya mentality. आज spicy नहीं है, आज नमक ज्यादा हो गया, sweet पूरा नहीं है, मेरा गुलाब जामुन आधा आया. Right? So all that kind of mentality, like enjoying, administrating. So we have devotees in all flavors. But you should understand that people don't change. Don't try to change people. Because that varna is given by Krishna. That varna, that quality is given by Krishna. Use that in Krishna's service. Use that in Krishna's service. That's all you need to do. Don't try to change. What is Arjuna doing here? He's telling Krishna, Krishna, I'll not fight. Instead, what will you do? I'll go and beg. I'll go and beg. Krishna is like, you cannot beg. You will kill somebody begging there also. Don't do that. Better come and do your job. Right? A doctor has to do doctor's job. That is more important. Right? It's very important that we don't leave our nature and leave our profession. Very, very important. Say, for example, you're all sitting here, 70, 80 of you, I don't know how many, 60, 70. So one of you is a doctor. Is anybody a doctor here? No? Okay. Yes, Sakshi Mataji was a doctor. She's not here right now. Anyway, so if you're a doctor, if somebody is dying here, suddenly he falls and he's like choking. And then you go and tell the doctor that, hey, can you help? No, I'm not in a mood to help right now. I've come here for hearing Bhagavad Gita class. Why? Anyway, I have to go to hospital and deal with all this. And the person dies. Or something worse happens to the person. Is that doctor responsible or no? But he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't even touch him. He didn't even touch him. How is he responsible? Following his dharma at a time when it is needed. So Krishna has given some quality to that person, and that person is supposed to use that quality in service of Krishna, in service of society. If you're not using that and just saying that I didn't do anything, that's not good enough reason. You are still responsible because you were a doctor and you could have cured, but you sat there without doing it. Arjuna is exactly doing that. Are you able to follow? He's a Kshatriya, Baba. He's a Kshatriya. He is supposed to do the war there. He is created to do that war. He has been given that quality to do the war. And what is he doing here? No, my uncle, my auntie, my nail dunga. This is not a valid reason. You are still responsible. Even if you don't do the war, you are still responsible. Are you following? Yeah. Shloka 32 to 35. Kim no rajyena govinda kim bhoger jivitena va yesham arte kankshit no
येषामध्ये काञ्चितं नो
Rajyam Bhoga Sukhani cha
राज्यं भोगसुखानि च
Taime Avastita Yuddhe
तायिमेव स्थिता युद्धे
Pranam Tyaktva Dhanani cha
प्राणां त्यक्त्वा गणानि च
Acharya Pitara Putras
आचार्या पितरः पुत्रः
Tataiva cha Pitamaham
दैव च पितामहः
Matula Swashura Pautra
अतुला श्वशुरा पौत्रः
Shyala Sambandhinastata
शाला सम्बन्धिनस्तदा
Etanna Hantum Ichchami
एतान् हन्तु इच्छामि
Nyato Api Madhusudana
ज्ञातो अपि मधुसूदनम्
Api Trailokya Rajasya
अपि त्रैलोक्यराजस्य
Heto Kim No Mahikrite
हेतु किन्नो महि कृते
Nihatva Dhatarashtraanna
निरस्ता दासदासनान्
Ka Pitrasya Janardana
का प्रीति स्नानादना
Ka Priti Sya Janajana.
का प्रीति स्याजनादना
Please repeat after me. O Govinda,
ओ गोविंद
of what avail to us are a kingdom,
of what awaits us for a kingdom
happiness, or even life itself,
happiness is life itself
when all those for whom we may desire
but all those for whom we may desire
them
them
are now arrayed on this battlefield.
are now arrayed on this battlefield.
O Madhusudana, when teachers,
When teachers,
fathers,
fathers,
sons, grandfathers,
sons, grandfathers,
maternal uncles,
maternal uncles,
fathers-in-law,
fathers-in-law,
grandsons, brothers-in-law,
grandsons, brothers-in-law,
and other relatives are ready to give up their lives
and other relatives are ready to give up
and properties
and property
and are standing before me,
and are standing before me.
why should I wish to kill them?
Why should I wish to kill them?
Even though they
Even though they
might otherwise kill me.
might otherwise kill me.
O maintainer of all living entities,
O maintainer of all living entities,
I am not prepared to fight with them,
I am not prepared to fight with them,
even in exchange of the three worlds,
even in exchange of 3 words.
let alone this earth.
Let alone this earth.
What pleasure we will derive
What pleasure we will derive.
from killing the sons of Dhritarashtra. Right? So exactly repeating the same thing. क्या मिलेगा सभी लोगों को मार के? What happiness will I find in the kingdom? Purport. Please focus. It's a long purport, but it's very important. Arjuna has addressed Lord Krishna as Govinda because Krishna is the object of all pleasures for cows and the senses. Now, Govinda, actually the word Govinda means, go means two things. Go also means senses. Go also means cow. Go means both. Like when you say Goswami, means the one who has controlled his senses. Not Arnab Goswami, but Goswami. So Goswami, meaning when you say somebody say Goswami means he has controlled his senses. Govinda means the one who gives pleasure to cows. Right? It's called Govinda. By using the significant word, that is Govinda, Arjuna indicates that Krishna should understand what will satisfy Arjuna's senses. But Govinda is not meant for satisfying our senses. If we try to satisfy the senses of Govinda, however, then automatically our senses are satisfied. You can underline till here. Very important part. You see, when you are trying to find happiness for yourself, you will always be in anxiety. But when you make Krishna happy, he will make everybody happy. Do you remember any instance in Mahabharata where he made everybody happy? Just by making him happy? Exactly. So when Pandavas were in Vanavas, they did not have anything much to eat. They were literally surviving on roots. Right? They are supposed to. You can't make Hakka noodles when you are in Vanavas, even if you have noodles available. You are supposed to only eat roots. Right? That is called Vanavas. You are following? So when he is so much, and it also explains that Draupadi was very upset when they were in Vanvas. Why? Because see, the opulence of a wife or the opulence of a lady in the house is how nicely she takes care of so many people who visit the house. Right? Like my grandmother and all our grandmothers. When the whole family goes to your grandmother's home, will she shout or will she be happy? Extremely happy, isn't it? And even though she cannot get up also, she'll somehow roll herself to the kitchen and make something for everybody. My grandsons have come, my daughters have come, this is come, that is come. Grandma will make. No, I'll make. Right? She's so happy to make. And in the same way, Draupadi was very happy to serve the great sages, the great guests who used to come to the kingdom. Because she is the main lady of the home, right? So many devatas used to come, Narad Muni used to come, so many rishis and sages used to come. Draupadi would always cook for them, always. And she finds so much happiness in that, because in service you find happiness. Draupadi was very happy. And when Yudhishthir and Pandavas, the Pandavas, when they came into the forest, Draupadi was very upset. Because how can I serve people who are going to come and meet my husband now? That is the beautiful consciousness of a wife, that my husband's friends are going to come now. What am I going to feed them with? Right? And she'll remember the old days when the guests used to come, I used to make chappan bhog. But now in the forest, what can I make? I don't have anything to make. And will people stop coming to meet Yudhishthir? No. They'll not stop coming to Yudhishthir. Can you have prasadam like this? Yeah. Srinivas, please. Yeah. We're almost done. Yeah. So they will. What is the time? Yeah, we'll end it in 5 minutes. So basically, Draupadi is not happy because she has to cook from the roots. And what she can make out of it? Nothing much. No varieties you'll get out of that. And that is why she was given something. A sage came and gave her Akshay Patra. He gave, she was benedicted. And Akshay Patra, the beauty is, anything you wish, it will come out of that. And unlimited, it will come out of that. So whenever 1,000 sages would come, even 1,000 sages would come to meet Yudhishthir Maharaj, she would make sure that they are nicely fed with everything that is needed. Right? Yeah, maybe one more can go and not. Yeah. Hare Krishna. Please take prasadam and from here. Not from here. Yeah. So Akshay Patra was given and she would feed. But there was one thing that, the Akshay Patra will give unlimited for everybody until everybody is satisfied. And after everybody eats, then the Grihini will take her meal. Then Draupadi will eat at the end. Because she'll make sure that everybody is nicely fed. That's the culture that we have come from. And we are still part of that culture. Right? Where the guest should eat. Actually, our Vedas explain, Manusmriti, Manusamhita, it explains that the householder eats. First, old people in the house need to be given. Varishta Vaishnavas. They need to be given food. Then the children. Then the woman in the house. Then everybody else in the house. Then the householder has to go outside the house, outside gate, and he has to see on the street and he has to shout loudly, is there anybody else hungry? And then nobody is there, then he'll come inside and have his meal. And after he eats the meal, then his wife will eat. Just see the culture, like unbelievable culture. That is a culture from which we belong, Sanatan culture. So here, Draupadi is very, in anxiety. And who knows this? Duryodhana knows this. So what Duryodhana does is he sends Durvas Muni. Durvas Muni visits Hastinapur. He makes him nicely have breakfast, brunch, whatever, right? And he sends Durvas Muni at a time when the whole meal of the Pandavas is over. And Draupadi also has eaten. At that time, he sends Durvas Muni. And Durvas Muni is he is angry. He is known for being angry and uncompromising. So he goes there and Yudhishthir, as soon as he sees Durvas Muni, is very happy. At the same time, he is concerned. How will I feed them? And Durvas Muni, and Duryodhana tells to Durvas Muni that my brother makes very nice, you get very nice things to eat there. Because, his wife makes a lot of things. They have some special thing also now. Even though they're in Vanvas, they'll feed all your 10,000 disciples. So Durvas Muni is coming with 10,000 disciples. Right? 10,000 disciples are coming and everybody is hungry and they have to be fed. And Durvas Muni directly comes and says, Yudhishthira, okay, we'll go and take a bath now and come back. Then you can, he didn't even offer that you'll have lunch. He's only telling that we'll go and come now, then you can serve lunch to us. And they're like, where will you get lunch from? And Draupadi is in so much anxiety. And she's in anxiety that she's not able to do proper service in the forest. And now Durvas Muni has come, such a great sage, and they can't even, and they are in anxiety. So she tells Yudhishthira, see, this is called misfortune. Misfortune means you can't even feed somebody who comes to your home. That is called misfortune. Yeah. So are you all able to hear? There is a lot of noise of children on the side. Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah. So the problem is that is called misfortune, right? Misfortune means somebody is coming to your home and you can't even feed that person properly. Those days there is no Zomato, Tomato and all that, right? That is a misfortune. That is actually the misfortune that you don't even cook for your people who come to your home. You order it from outside, right? Ordering it from outside is nowhere, there is any love. There is no love and exchange there, right? Just imagine, you go to somebody's home and like, "Main tumhare liye banati hu, tum baitho. I know what you like, I'll make now." Even if it takes 20 minutes, it's very happy, happy moment. Somebody is making for you. And somebody says, otherwise, you go to somebody, "Hey, you came, I'm so happy. Kya order karo Zomato se?" Where is the love? There is no love in that, right? It's just a transaction. Just to aaya, order karta hu. It has gone to a point where, I've seen in US, there is this big toy stores called Toys R Us and Babies R Us. There are big stores, they have a lot of toys. And then, whatever toys you want, you can keep in one of their, in your login. You can, whatever toys you want, you're already deciding. So not only toys, even gifts. Like you're getting married, you already write it down. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And you keep it at a place. And the guests are given the access to that place. And the guests will go and see what all you want. And they will check that and tell, I am buying it for you. Right? This is to make sure that the gifts are not uselessly purchased. Every gift is liked by the person whom you are gifting it to, so that everybody is satisfied. The person who is taking the gift is satisfied, the person who is giving it. Are you really satisfied in that? Just think about it. Like gift is what? Something that surprises you. Something that is given to you, of course, according to your liking, but the person who's giving it. And if you go and give a gift, it happened that we bought something without knowing this, and the person was upset. Then why did you buy me this? I never asked for it. What do you mean you asked for it? I don't know what you asked for it. Oh, you didn't see my list? I said, what list are you talking about? Right? This is called material thing. Yeah. But actual thing is in love. When you do make something. Even now, the most touching thing for me on my birthday is a greeting card. Not a greeting card that you buy in a shop. A greeting card that is made with a sketch pen, with some photo on the first page, with a message on the second page, and signed and with a love written, right? We get so many of them in the satsang. For the birthdays, our small children, even my kids, they're grown up. They know my father likes a greeting card, so they make a greeting card. And that I really keep in my office, that this is made by my children. And whatever, it means a lot, because the opposite person has put some effort in it, right? They have spent some time, did something. Not that you go and buy a huge something and throw it on somebody's face. That's not something that gives happiness. Yeah. So, so the point is, when you satisfy God, you're automatically satisfied. Right? If you want to make these plants happy, will you put water on the leaves or on the branches or on the stem? You put in the roots. When you put the water to the roots, automatically the whole tree will blossom. In the same way, when you water when you serve the Supreme Lord, Govinda, all his senses are satisfied, and when his senses are satisfied, our senses are also satisfied. This is called worship in Sanatana Dharma. Right? We always do what God likes, not what you like. Whatever God likes, we do, and automatically we are satisfied. When we go and give our hair in Tirupati, right? Why are we giving hair in Tirupati, by the way? Anybody knows? Venkatesh Swami likes hair. Huh? Your vasanas go, yes.
Like hair are very, like people are fond of their hair, so it's kind of
In 12th canto of Bhagavatam, there is a chapter called Bhavishya Purana. There it is mentioned that in Kali Yuga, it will go to such a third class situation that people will feel beautiful looking at their hair. Now you might be thinking, what is wrong in that? But look at 5,000 years back, it was written that people will go to such a third class consciousness that they think that hair is the thing that makes you beautiful. But hair never makes anyone beautiful. In our Vedic society, people used to just shave their head. Why they will shave their head? Because they don't want to get distracted. Anything related to this body. If I wear something nice, if I have a good hairstyle, then I'll feel that I'm beautiful because this body is beautiful. They were very clear. This body is useless thing. I am this soul, not this body. The consciousness is always soul consciousness, spiritual consciousness, right? Not that they didn't appreciate if somebody is beautiful, but they know what it is, right? Actually, hair is nothing but stool. Do you know that? Hair is nothing but stool that we pass in toilet, because it is just excreta that's coming out of your body. Even after you die, the hair still keeps growing until the whole excreta is out. And just imagine you are like, क्या बोलते हो? अच्छा लग रहा हूँ. That is the consciousness. So here you should satisfy God. We when we go to Tirupati, we give that hair off. That Krishna, I am not anything in front of you. I don't think I'm beautiful. You are the most beautiful. You are the most attractive. Akarsha iti Krishna. Right? So you don't want any hairstyle in front of Krishna. So simply that is the reason even when you Punjabis, or they cover their hair. Why do you think they cover their hair? We give the hair off, they cover their hair. Because you don't want to show a hairstyle there. In front of God. As simple as that, right? Oh, continuation, how it ended. Yeah, so, oh my God. Yeah. So basically, then they understood that how can they satisfy the sages, and then at the moment they immediately remembered Krishna. And as soon as they remember Krishna with true heart, Krishna immediately appears. Immediately Krishna comes to her home, and to make matters even worse, Krishna tells Draupadi, Krishna, bahut bhook laga hai. Draupadi is like, already I am being tortured by the sages, that I can't make anything for them. And you are the most dear to us, and you are coming and asking for food again. Right? And Krishna likes to do that. He likes to tease. Kuch to de do na, kuch bhi nahi kar mein. Anything, nothing here. No, everything is gone, Krishna. My Akshaya Patra is also done. I also had my last meal. What can be there? Kuch to rahega na, something like that he says. And she goes and sees what is there inside. And she sees one morsel of rice. One little dana of rice will be there. So she made kheer with that. So she goes and gives, Krishna, this is the only thing I have. Such a misfortune. You have come to our home, we can't even feed you. Krishna looks at this. This is everything. This is all I needed. This will satisfy the whole world, he says. Immediately Pandavas laugh. What do you mean, Krishna? One morsel, how will it satisfy? No, he immediately takes that. Because that is given with love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta pranashyati. Give it with love. Krishna takes, he eats the bhava, not the thing. So he takes that and he keeps it in his mouth and he enjoys that kheer and he says, kheer is very tasty, whatever you made. Right? And as soon as he eats that, all the bellies of 10,000 disciples will become full in the water. Right? When you have eaten full, you cannot be in the water. Just imagine all the Durvasa and his disciples are inside the water, nicely taking bath, and suddenly their bellies become full. Hey, what is this? You should immediately get out of the water. They come out of the water and like, kya kare? Durvasa Muni is like, I don't know, we are feeling so much filled that, literally I can feel, kheer in my throat. It has come to such a point. Now, then all the disciples say, But you told the Pandavas to cook for us. Now how will we eat all that? Then Dhruva says, that beam will get angry if we don't eat. Let us do a thing, let's not go there only. Yahin se bhag lete hain. Because Bhim would have made cooking, right? I mean, he's one of the kitchen in charge. So just imagine, pura banaya, aake khaya nahi, chale gaye. They immediately run away from there. That's what happens. So that is another example of if you satisfy Krishna, everybody is satisfied. You should have faith in that. Krishna will take care of us. Name bhakta pranashyati. Kaunteya prati janahi. Name bhakta pranashyati. 9th chapter he says. If you serve Krishna, he will take care of your job, he will take care of your wife, he will take care of your children, he will take care of everything. Trust me, it happens. It happens such a beautiful way that you will be mesmerized, how it happens. Okay? Yeah, this whole purport actually says that God is not there to satisfy your senses. God is not there to satisfy your senses. You are here to satisfy his senses. Don't make an order. Don't go to God and say like order taker, Ek paneer butter masala lekar aao. God is not like a waiter standing in front of you that you order and he'll come and supply it. No. Go to satisfy him. Go to Tirupati to serve him. Go to Rameshwaram to serve him. Go to Badrinath to serve him. And how do you serve God? By distributing literature. By distributing prasadam. By sponsoring for feasts in the temple. We can do all that. Give. Go there to give. Live to give. That is the purpose of our living, to give, not to take. Because, we are always taking, get and forget. God is what? Give and forgive. He's all the time forgiving you for whatever nonsense you do. But we are all the time get consciousness. Right? So our job is to serve. I'll tell a small instance that happened. One of the instances that happened. I mean, I'm sure you'll also have many such small realizations in life. Once it so happened that I was not doing job that time. I kind of had a temporary retirement in between. So we were going through a little financial crunch and we had cows in the farm. So cows were there and cows eat grass. So I have all the devotees. I have a good number of devotees who help me in taking care of those cows. So they sponsor for the cows, grass, this, that. So it so happened that I had to order something extra that month and all the funds got over. And then the dry grass, the burigatti, that's like papad for them. When they eat, we also like papad in the side, right? So they also like that dry grass. That got over. These people didn't tell me that it is getting over. I didn't go to the farm for 1 week. And in 1 week, pura saaf kar diya. It's over. So they said, sir, tomorrow we have to order dry grass. I said, you should have told me. And I did not have anything with me. Literally, my balance was all swept off. Then I was thinking, should I go and ask devotees? No, they're already giving. I should not ask. So I was thinking, I know I could have made some arrangement, but I was thinking about it. And then one of my father's friend, my father's old friend, his son, he came from US. Then he was calling me, hey, come and meet me now. We'll meet, mere paas time nahi hai. I was only thinking about the grass. Where will I find the grass? How can I get it done? And then he called and said, see, I need a help. I need a help that, and the grass is like 25,000 rupees a truck. Very expensive. So we need to order at least minimum 2. So almost 50,000 rupees I needed, something like that. So I told him, see, I'm busy right now. I can't meet. I need to figure out some things. Then he said, no, I have to ask some suggestion. I need to buy a flat. So please suggest me. How can I buy a flat? Like that. So then that is my father's friend's son. So I can't just ignore also. I said, see, I know a builder. If you want, he had some dealing, some kind of way he wanted to buy. So I introduced him to the builder, the landlord. And the landlord also knows me because I also bought a flat from him only. So he said, okay, I'll talk to him. So I brought him, both of them were having discussion. I was like, Jaldi khatam karo, mere ko jana hai yahan se, because I need to go and figure out, my thing. So it so happened that the deal striked. The landlord was happy to give the flat. This fellow wanted to take the flat. He also liked it. Ho gaya. And then the discussion was, okay, how are you going to give the money? Then I told both of us, see, ho gaya na. We both are introduced now. I have to go. And I said, why are you in such a hurry? Boss, I need to go and buy grass. I have to tell that I have to go and figure out something and I have to go. And immediately that landlord, he gets up, goes into his house, another room, brings back 50,000 rupees in my hand, cash, and he says, "You made me strike this deal. I also was in desperate need that this gets over. You told that you have cows. Here is me 50,000. Do anything you want with that." I was shocked, literally, like keeping there. I was holding that money. I was looking at him. I was like, "Ye kahan se aa gaya?" There was no plan. And I was not any broker also in between. I was introducing one friend to another friend. How Krishna took care of everything. You don't have to do anything. Just keep the faith in him. In the last minute, he will do it. Namay Bhakta Pranashyati. There has never been a time a single cow in our Goshala, or any Goshala for that matter, has died with hunger. Because there will be a devotee who will come and he'll take care of it. Right? And if you are serving Krishna, your children also will be taken care. Your family will be taken care. Now, how he is going to take care may not be according to your plan. That's your problem. Right? My son has to become doctor. My son has to, that is your problem, your expectation. My son has to be happy in life. He will take care of that. You understand me? So always serve Krishna and have faith in Krishna. That's exactly the whole Bhagavad Gita purpose is. He is asking all the questions. Now he ended with the second reason, which is enjoyment. Right? And the next reason we are going to hear later is fear of sinful reactions. Right? That we'll discuss next week. Any questions at this point? Is it okay I keep adding some stories in between?
Yes.
I can go fast also. That Pat philosophy I can go and finish. Any questions? सभी ठीक लगा? सब पीछे? Prabhu's Mataji's? Hare Krishna. Okay. So looks like Prashadam is here and I should not delay anymore. I'll sing small Narsimha Arati, Narsimha Arati. Narsimha Arati is also on that page. So you can actually, if you are singing it for 5-6 times, you can stop holding the page and try to sing it without the page also. Namaste Narasimha. प्रहलाद लाद दायिने हिरण्याकाशी पूर्वक्षः तिलकङ्कानकालाये ito Narasimho, Parato Narasimho, Yeto Yeto Yami Tato Narasimho, Bahir Narasimho, Hidaye Narasimho, Narasimhamani Sharanam Papade. Abhakara Kamala Bharena Adbhuta Shinga Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanubandha Keshavadruta Narahari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Abhakara Kamala Bharena Adbhuta Shinga Lalita Hiranyakashipu Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Jagadish Hare Jaya Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Narasimha Dev Jaya Narasimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jai Jai Gurudev. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. भक्त विघ्नाश नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की, श्रील गुरुदेव की, साई गौर हरि प्रेमानंदे, हरि हरि बोल, हरे कृष्णा. So thank you all for attending today's class. So we have finished 2 reasons, compassion and enjoyment, and there are 3 more reasons which we'll try to finish next week, right? And by the way, just for planning purposes, New Year Eve is coming. Actually, this is not our New Year as per Vedic calendar, but still it's a New Year celebrated. So why don't find another reason to celebrate? So normally what we do on New Year Day is we all devotees come together and we do kirtans, right? We have mrudangas, kartals and dance and do all that. We do some dramas in between and all that. So please block your calendars. Don't make any other choices. This is the best among all the choices. If you're not experienced, how do you start a year? This is one of the best ways to start a year. And you can also encourage your friends and relatives to come and experience a different way to start the new year. We're booking one of the halls in one of the apartment communities. And last time, I think we were almost like 150 or 200 of us. And we had like amazing, nobody wanted to go home only, even after 2 o'clock. Like we'll just have kirtans and not katha, there'll be no lecture that day. So there'll be only kirtans, and all children will do kirtan, adults will do kirtan, different harmonium, mridanga, kartas, and it will be very nice. And we also do dramas that day, like it will be really fun doing the dramas. How many here like acting? Come on, everybody likes acting. You're already acting. Yeah, so you can get to act that day. We'll give you one role. Everybody has to do one role, by the way. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Please honor Prashadam, and I'll have to leave a little early today. So please excuse me. Hare Krishna. No, I'll stay.